It's all too much. I think you said enough. It stinks hypocrisy to me.
Hello everybody. Have a guess what? Go on, have a guess. Don't be sitting there not guessing. You have to have a guess. That's the game. I never thought I was going to be doing another video for Living in a Ditches channel before Christmas. I thought the last one was out and we're all done for Christmas. But then I thought, you know what? I think we should try and end the year on a positive. Because I know it's been a shitty last couple of years, and you obviously know my opinion on it all. And I also understand that many people haven't been really too badly affected by it and they've just carried on as normal. Bastards. I'm only joking. Yeah. So first of all, I think I'd better just explain to newcomers here why it's called living in a ditch, or what the hell is living in a ditch. Well, it's probably not plainly obvious to you new people, but this is actually a narrowboat. So we live on a narrowboat, and basically the canals are the ditch. So we live in a ditch. And I thought that was good enough. That's it really. Explanation over. Also, I should say we have special language on this channel. This is what we're going to do this year. Because we have to be careful with YouTube's algorithms and all that sort of stuff. We're not allowed to mention things like this, are we? So that, right, is the Dyson. Think about that for a minute. What other make of Hoover sounds like? Well, it is that, isn't it? So we're going to call it the Dyson, okay? And the old Mick and Ron, you know what that is. The old Mick and Ron, you can gather that one. So anyway, I just wanted to say, first of all, we are not anti-Dyson here. I'm anti-Dyson myself. I don't want it. I don't need it. And I'm not going to have it. But if you feel that you want to, then so long as you've done your research and you know what risk is attached to that, then fine. If you haven't, well, then still fine. Still your choice, not my choice. And this is where I'm at. I just said it's your choice. And by me not doing the same thing, that's my choice. And it does kind of rile me when people are telling me that I have to have the Dyson. I think, well, I don't. I've never heard of anything in my whole life saying you have to have something to protect others. What an absolute load of old cock. And if you're falling for that one, well, I'm sorry, you're too far gone to even talk to. So, yeah, you need to give your old head a wobble and think, no, it don't make sense. And that's all this channel ever is really designed for. So I can have a little bit of a chat to camera and maybe just to make people question things. Well, not make people question, but maybe encourage them to question what's going on. Not just on this, but on everything in life. I think life is good fun when you can question things and work things out for yourself. And not listen to the voices that you are forced to listen to, i.e. the mainstream media and our great leaders and Boris and his ball sacks, then I think that's a good thing, isn't it? Doing your own research. It's good for the old, grey matter. It's really good for it. Anyway, as I said, I want to end on a positive. And the first positive through all of this is, of course, for me personally, it's given me more time. Obviously, I lost my business, which isn't a good thing. Obviously, that's not a positive. But it does bring some positives with it because it makes you focus a little bit more on what's important to you. It gives you time to reflect. Yes, of course, boredom set in and, I can have the odd tantrum here and there. But that's just the way that is, I suppose, What can I do about that? That's just me. But one of the major things that I would say is a big positive for this is actually in the initial lockdowns, it actually made me kind of relaunch Hannah the Narrowboat as a channel. We used to do the odd thing when we was going along on a narrowboat. We didn't do anything, like a weekly vlog or anything like that. So that's a good thing. It made me do that. And that kind of then led on to other things. It made me get more interested again into cinematography. And now having that cinema camera is just absolutely amazing. And of course, being a creative type, that really floats my boat. So I'm absolutely delighted that happened. That probably wouldn't have happened if we just carried on, because I wouldn't have had that interest brought back to me in photography and video. So I'm thankful for that, and that will lead on to new things after all this is finished, because it will finish at some point. Whether it finishes good or bad, who knows? But it has to come to an end at some point. Maybe they'll use climate change as the next wind up for us all. But anyway, so obviously that, and then doing hand in the narrowboat thing, obviously then made me do this living in a ditch thing. And this living in a ditch thing is probably where I feel more at home talking to the camera. People have come here, know what to expect, or will accept what I'm saying. Not as fact or anything like that. I'm just saying they will accept that this is the place where I'm going to say it, rather than in our normal vlogs. So obviously it's made this little community. Now I know it's a tiny little channel. It's only a couple of hundred of so far, but that's a couple of hundred people that I wasn't speaking to before. So in a funny sort of way, although I can't say I've met everyone, I have met quite a few of you. You know, there's quite a few people that have come into my life personally that I wouldn't have met had all this not happened. And that is a major positive. I've made friends for life, without a doubt. Without a doubt. So yeah, also it made us do the MeWe thing. I'm delighted we did that and stayed off Facebook. And again, our little MeWe community is quite a nice thing. Again, in its infancy. And with those two things, the channel and the MeWe thing, it is kind of, we're just making a nice little community, I think. And it, you know, it can't just be about what we're talking about at the moment. We carry on and we'll have a laugh along the way and mess about, and hopefully it'll grow. And with your help, it will grow. You just need to help us get the word out there. Make sure you keep pressing the likes and the subscribes if you're not subscribed, and spread the word. And then, you know, who knows what might happen from here on. Of course, also being on the boat, you know, having moved on the boat, I think was karma. I think things happen for a reason, and we were placed onto this boat, and we did it by choice, but we did it at exactly the right time. We had a year to settle in, and kind of get used to boat life, and then obviously the shit hit the fan. And this was probably the best place for me to be when the shit hit the fan. I could not have been in Luton. I would have gone mad, because that's where I used to live. I used to live in the, it's a big town, Luton is, and it's not, I wouldn't say it's the most beautiful place in England, to be honest with you. So, but we won't go there, will we? Now, of course, other things, again, be it because we're on the boat, you get more in touch with nature, and that is a brilliant thing. You know, even just sitting outside here, watching the birds, watching the ducks, watching the swans, watching the field mice, and all that sort of thing. Taking walks along the canal, it's all fantastic, and that's good for your mind. And of course, from that, we've been talking about bushcraft. I know on our other channel we've had a chat about bushcraft, and we've been talking about herbal remedies, and all these other things which I probably wouldn't have considered before. And then we go on to the meditation thing. I had to go at that. I still wish I could do it, but I just can't. I've tried, but at least it sparked an interest, and I'm still looking into it, and I'll still try again. What else have we got? Obviously, the community here itself at the marina has been fantastic. It's dwindled away a little bit now. I mean, there's more people here. Maybe it's because there's more unknowns. I don't know. They seem to have crammed a lot of people in there. They weren't supposed to, well, they said they weren't going to have any more liveaboards in here, but it's mad we can't in bloody park now, so that's not a positive. I'm sure it is for the people that are in here, that have moved in here, but it's not a positive for us because I suppose that sounds really selfish, does it? But it's been disrupting, I would say, and the place has become a bit of a tip, if I'm really honest. There has been freezers left out up at the top there. There's just shit everywhere, to be honest with you. I mean, I'm no angel for being really tidy, but you know, it's just a bit too much now, I think. But hey, that's the way it is. You know, I'm sure we'll get to know more people here. I don't think we'll be doing the same thing as we did last year in Christmas, having everyone on the green. I just can't see that happening. But that's by the by, isn't it? Yeah, I suppose the other things that are positive is I've been educating myself more. Again, because you've got more time, you go online, you learn new things. So I've learned a hell of a lot over the last couple of years, to be honest. And these are things that I do hope will hold me in good stead as we move past and through all this and launch new businesses. Because I don't think that my normal business, my graphic design business, because it was so events orientated, I don't think it will ever come back to the level that it was. I would say I'd be very lucky to get back up to 60 or 70% of where that was. So I need to be doing something else. And this is one little thing we can do if we can build this channel. Yes, we can make a few pennies out of this, nothing big, but there's lots of other things I can do. And obviously I supply photography and video to Adobe Stock, but I haven't been doing it as a job, if you know what I mean. I'm doing it, I've been testing it, if that's the right word. So yeah, proof of concept, and it works. I can do that. Obviously, you know, I'm all right at doing video and photography. I've done it professionally in the past, so you know, it's just a slightly different thing. Just put my glasses on just so I can read me list. It's getting old, see. Yeah, another thing, I suppose, I don't know whether this is a positive or a negative actually. It's the awareness of people. I think this has shown a lot of people or made people show their true colours. And there's some people out there now, and I'm talking about friends, that are trying to tell me what to do, telling me to get the old Dyson. Now, here's a little thing. This is just something to get you thinking about it. Now, there are risks attached. I don't care what anyone says. There are risks. If you go and listen to anyone other than the mainstream media, you'll see that there are risks, especially for certain types of people. Now, imagine this. Imagine if I was pro Dyson and I started drumming it into someone saying, you must do this, you must do this, you must do this, you must do this, and trying to coerce them into it. How would I feel, right, if they did go down that route and they did have an adverse reaction and God forbid died? Think about that for a minute before you start telling people what they should do with their lives. That's a really serious point, because I couldn't live with myself no more than I could live with myself by saying don't do it, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it, when it could have done them so good. So, and that's why I say I'm not anti anything. I am anti this particular one, because it's different. Okay, it's not standard. It's not a normal Dyson. It's a special Dyson, I say. So, and it fucks around with your immune system. So, yeah, I'm not up for that. In 5 or 6 years' time, perhaps if this thing carries on and it is proven to be okay and all that sort of stuff, then my mind may change. I'll have done due diligence, as they say. But no, I don't know what all this is about. So anyway, so I would say something quite interesting, or would be interesting to me, is how has this changed your life over the last couple of years? Have there been any positives for you? Have you discovered new things? Have you decided you want to get more in touch with nature? Have you got new business opportunities? Or is it just the same old, same old? Have you been majorly depressed? I know I have, here and there. But again, sometimes I think you just learn by these things. And I'm sure there'll be days where I'll go plummet straight back down again and think, oh my God, it's all too much. But then, sure as the phoenix rises, so will the Paulus the wood gnome, and I'll always come back, and I'll try and come back stronger. I think, again, for me, it's made our relationship closer, different. Lee has been the main source of income. She's been the rock this time, which is unusual. It feels different to me. I felt helpless before, felt fucking useless, to be honest, not bringing in enough money. But Lee's certainly taken up the slack in that department, and God bless her. She's absolutely brilliant. I don't know how I would have got through this without her. And obviously there's Hector the Mighty Hound. He's helped as well, and as I say, the community here. Yeah, so let us know in the comments how this has changed you, or has it given you an interest in new things? What have you done with the extra time you've had, if you've had extra time? Because I know a lot of people have just carried on working through it, as I say, not really been affected. And where do you think it's going? That's probably a poignant question. Where do you think this all ends? Because I don't bloody know. And the other thing, yeah, discuss it in the comments below. Come and join our MeWe group. It's definitely worth joining the MeWe group. I really want that to be a nice little community. And it'd be great to show other people what you're interested in. Show us your skills. I mean, I'm really interested in the bushcraft at the moment. And I want one of them little stoves that you saw earlier. I'll put it up on screen again now. I want one of these stoves, I think. I think it'd just be a nice thing. Lee wrote in my card, we need to, my Christmas card this year, that we need to make more special memories this year, this coming, 2022. And you know what? She couldn't be more right. We do. We have to make more memories. And I think maybe going out and doing silly things with, one of these little bushfire things, fireboxes. Silly thing. You go out on the boat, set up somewhere nice, and instead of just putting something in the oven or brewing a cup of tea, we do it on there. We do our marshmallows on there and all that sort of stuff. Just something different, something more, feeling more at one with nature. You just put little bloody twigs and stuff in it and burn it. And the self-sufficiency part of it it will help. We don't know what's going to happen. I know there's a lot of doom and gloom ones. What do they call it when shit hits the fan? I think there's going to be some sort of holocaust of some sort, and that we're all going to have to do a runner and live in the woods naked or something. But you don't know, do you? So it's worth being prepared to a point, you know. So yeah, we've been storing food and stuff on the boat that just in case we run out of money, you know. So while we've got a little bit of money, we've kind of stocked up a little bit. Not enough, to be honest. We haven't taken it seriously enough. But yeah, I think learning to be more self-sufficient is a positive. I really do. The other thing I was wondering about. This is something I'm going to ask you all now. I would like you to answer this if you can, or if you know anything about it, or you've tried it. Guerrilla gardening. Do you know about guerrilla gardening or what it is? Um, Basically, it's you plant stuff where you shouldn't, or that's not yours, sort of thing, and you grow it covertly, and you know, that sort of thing. So, have any of you experienced that? Do you know anyone else who's done it? Where have you done it? And do you think it's worth having a go at? Just because I mean, we do grow a few things here, you know, under tree, and we did think we're up to the top of the marina. There's some space, but if any of you have tried it, has any of it been nicked? Because that's what I think. If we blooming planted some potatoes up the top there, I know full well some bugger would nick them. So that's not nice, is it? Anyway, I hope that's given you a bit of a positive finish to the year, or certainly to Christmas. I think you'll have a little think, take stock. Let me know in the comments below and on our MeWe group. Anything you want to let me know, really. We're a community, remember, and that is definitely a positive. So I bid you all farewell. Have a fabulous Christmas, and party on, I say, party on. Bye.
Enough's enough. Today I'm gonna play it rough. I feel you're suffocating me. I'll turn you off. I'll fold the tailors, tear them up. Your spin is nothing more to me. You always play it down when allegiance fucks around. Up the discontrol, you're saying